Hey, I'm Erika Bell. Welcome back. I'm so excited to have my fashionista sister-in-law here with us, Anna Reed. We are going to go over 20 different things to be a better you in 2024. So mine will be organizing tips. Anna's will be kind of fashion slash, what would you call them?
Just be a better you in general. Just a little better than the year before, you know?
Love it. All right, I'll get started. So my number one thing, well, they're not in order actually. So my first thing on the list, they're not in order of importance. I don't know if yours are. Okay. No. Purge before you do any kind of organizing. So make sure that you don't want to organize anything you're not going to keep. I've said this 1,000 times, so make sure you purge things. And it's a perfect way to start the new year by like getting rid of the stuff that you no longer want. You probably have a lot of new stuff coming in. Purge the old.
How do you decide what you want to purge? Is it just because you're just like, I don't need them, I hate this?
All of those things.
It does not bring me joy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Any of those things. Any of those things. You'll know. You know. You already know when you're watching this, the items that you have at your house that you're like, I really kind of hate that, but I've been holding on to it.
Yeah. I kept some meat clamps in my drawer, my kitchen drawer for years. They were still in the packaging. I finally gave them to Larry because I'm like, when do I need meat clamps? What do I have? Okay, this is a letting go, but we need to let go of the criticism of our past selves. This is something that I have to constantly work on, but I'll be cooking dinner and then all of a sudden I remember something embarrassing I did 10 years ago, or what I said, or I shouldn't have said that, or I should have said that, or acted the wrong way. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I have to bring myself back, stop criticizing myself. And even the way I dressed. I've had many years where I dressed like either a total bum or, you know, just like a hooker. You know, it's called being in your 20s, I don't know. But, you know, there's a lot of things that we can criticize our past selves about, and we are only human. We're not gonna be perfect, and there's just no reason to do it. And it's just really a good practice to start recognizing when you're doing that, when you're hating on yourself for something you did, and just bring yourself back here, do better going forward, and move on.
I feel like those are always the things that like hit me. I'm like dozing off. I'm like about to get in some good like REM sleep. And then all of a sudden something I did literally like 10 years ago, you're like, why did I do that? I hate myself. Yes. Now I'm reliving it. Now I'm up until 2 a.m.
Of course. Yes, obviously.
So what's the way to shift it? Just be like,
go back to the present moment. So if you are currently, you're cleaning out your closet and you're like, oh my gosh, I bought this and I wore it and I should never, whatever. Bring yourself back. Right now we're just cleaning out our closet. We're gonna make it new. We're gonna make these clothes look nicer. We're gonna, you know, just bring yourself back to what you're currently doing.
Leave the past in the past.
Yes,
that's
so
just
easy.
I know, it's
so easy.
Really easy to do, but it is a good thing to like remind ourselves of at the beginning of the year. Like just let it go. All right, number 2, make your bed every day. I do this. I know Anna does it too. And like even my brother will joke, he'll be like, our whole house could look like pure chaos, but we are damn sure like have our bed made. Like Anna will make sure our bed is made. So it just is a beautiful way to start your day. Everything else seems better.
You know what I will say about that is I realize in my mother's house, the bed that we stay in, I make it because it looks like crap, and it literally takes 15 minutes to make up that dang bed. There are so many pieces to it, and I'm just like, this is nuts. If it took me 15 minutes every day, I would not be making up my bed. But I have a down comforter. I think you have a comforter too. You can just like throw it on, smooth it out, throw the pillows up, takes 30 seconds, and you're done.
Yeah, that is the thing. It takes less than a minute. And I do have, I don't know, maybe 6 decorative pillows. So some days I don't put those on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm like, I'm doing this because I have to do it and it's going to make me feel better, you don't have to do every single one.
Yeah. And if your bed is one that takes 10 minutes to make up, like maybe that should be your new goal, is to have a bed that only takes 30 seconds to make up.
Yeah.
In 2024, we're going to choose quality over quantity in all areas of your life.
Ooh, I like.
But with clothing and probably just a lot of things, you know, I feel like especially with clothing, you want to buy something that the best quality you can afford, and by afford I mean you can comfortably buy well within your budget, instead of buying 10 super cheap, inexpensive items that probably might fall apart, or just you're not really in love with, or you know they're just not really going to stand the test of time or even last more than a couple months. It's so much better to get 1 or 2 high quality pieces that you really love. You will be so much happier in the long run, and will end up with you know, maybe a closet with less clothes, but ones that you really love and you really care about, rather than a closet full of clothes and there are a whole bunch that you're just like, they're all falling apart.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know if it's our society like as a whole, or maybe just as I'm getting older, but I feel like in a lot of ways, like we are kind of moving away from fast fashion. I hope, because it's just, it's bad for the environment. It's just bad for a lot of things. But I do kind of feel like there's maybe I don't know, maybe if you feel that too, or again, maybe it's just as you get older, you're like, I just don't want that fast fashion.
I was wondering about that too. Like, am I just getting older and it's just something that, you know, it happens when you get older? But also but even like brands like H&M, which is notoriously has been a fast fashion brand, they have been for years trying to become more green, and people, you know, say they're not green enough or whatever, but they have like cashmere sweaters and like 100% cotton stuff. Like, everyone's trying to move in that direction, which I think is good, because they kind of realize that we don't really want, a lot of us are just over the, you know, one wear items.
Yeah. Okay, so again, I've said this before, but clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. And the longer you postpone them, the harder they get to make. So this year, we want to aim to minimally touch our things. Okay, when I say that, you're like, what are you talking about? Basically, when you're trying to put something away, you want to touch it as few times as possible.
Yes.
Have we talked about this before?
No, but this is something that I actually implemented last year.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, you can't tell by my house right now, but it actually kind of helped change my whole thing.
So how did you implement it? Like,
so the way I heard it was like the one touch rule.
Yeah.
So whenever you come in the house and you have like your jacket or something, instead of putting it over your chair, think about, you just want to touch it one time and be done with it. So instead of putting it over your chair, you're like, let me just go hang it in the closet.
Yes.
Or your bag, like I have a little hook now, and I do it all the time, but it's like, instead of coming in and just like throwing it down on my counter, it's like, I just want to touch this one time, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the hook.
Yep, exactly. So yes, you will have heard it called the one touch rule, but basically how little as possible to touch your things and like to put them away. It's just, at first, it's going to be kind of a process. Like, it seems maybe more annoying.
Slow motion, you're like,
yes, where should I put this?
Yes.
And it like,
if you haven't already, if you haven't done this is kind of goes along with organizing too, but it's a really good idea to organize your closet. And you're like, well, duh, yes, that sounds like a great idea. But what I mean is to organize it in a way that works for you. So we were just talking before this video. So Erica, you organize your closet like by tank tops and probably like pants or t-shirts or whatever, and then I organized mine like a couple of years ago by color, and that works for me. It's like, so whenever I go to my closet, if I have a red shirt, it goes with all the red. If I have a beige shirt, it goes with all the beige, you know, and that works for me, and I've kept it like that, even though, even if it gets messy or whatever, it's still like color coordinated, and it just looks right to me. But just figure out a way. There's so many ways you can organize your clothes, but find a way that works for you. And then it just makes your life so much easier. Yeah. So a couple other things to piggyback on organizing your closet. Few things that you can do. So once you do have your closet organized and you're still kind of like, I don't know if I want to get rid of everything. If you haven't already, you know, gone through your stuff, like we told you, you need to, you know, don't organize the things that you don't want to keep. But if there's some stuff that you're like on the fence about, we've all probably heard this trick, but you flip the hanger. So instead of hanging it like this, you're hanging it from the, you know, inside. Yeah. And by the end of, give yourself a time limit. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year. Yeah. If you have not worn that, because when you wear it, then you flip the hanger the correct way. If you haven't worn it in that time period, you can probably get rid of it. Yeah. Another way to keep up with this organized closet is when you're doing that laundry, if you just keep your hangers, some of us are in the habit of when we take something off, we grab our hanger and we just put our hangers in the laundry room, or we put it in the beginning of our closet. Keep your hangers where they are, and then you'll know exactly where to put that item back. That is something that I want to do like a whole dang video on, because to me it's so genius. Yeah. So easy ways to put things back where they go. Yeah. Girl, you got to get rid of the clothes that used to fit. You don't have to throw them away. You don't have to donate them. But the clothes that used to fit, they don't fit anymore, and you're looking at them every single day, put them in a little box, put them away, put them in your guest bedroom closet, put them under your bed, somewhere else, just so that they're not looking at you every single day and causing clutter in your mind, and you're looking at these things and feeling like shame and frustration.
Yes.
Like, why don't I weigh like that? Why don't I weigh that little anymore? Whatever, there's no need for that. Just get rid of those, get them out of your sight, put them in a box, come back to them in 6 months, and then reassess then.
Unless, I will say, I just had a client last week that she was like, what should I do with these old clothes? I'm like, well, do you want to donate them? She's like, no, I really eventually do want to get back into them. And she's like, should I just put them in the garage? I'm like, we can do that unless it's out of sight, out of mind. If it's in your closet as like motivation, then, because she has her workout stuff in her room. She's like, no, they are motivating to me. I'm like, let's keep them there, baby.
Well, if it's motivating, I would say definitely keep them.
Yes, so, but usually it's not. Usually it's not.
Because like for me and like, for a lot of people, if you're looking at clothes that don't fit you, it's like, you just feel bad about yourself. And so,
shame.
Just
totally.
Like, and if you look at clothes that fit you right now and you go about your day being like, I feel good, I don't feel like I'm wearing pants that are too tight or whatever, and you just feel good, you generally start making better choices throughout the day anyway.
Totally.
But again, that's person to person.
Yeah.
And if it's motivating, girl.
All right, deal with your mail before you even enter your home. Y'all, I've said it before, but it is such a game changer. If you know, like before you even get inside your house, start looking at that mail. Mm-hmm. If it is junk mail and you don't need it, thank you.
Yeah, girl.
Go ahead and recycle it. Now, yes, I know some people want to shred their things. That's totally fine. Do it right there. If it just is a couple quick things, just hand shred it. Throw it away, deal with it. Because you know what happens when you don't? It goes on your counter and it sits there and it becomes clutter.
Love that, because ever since you said that, I don't always do that, but at least it's in my head. Yeah. I know that I need to do that. If you have an outfit you just put together and you're like, I really like this, I like what I'm wearing, snap a picture of yourself in your mirror. I don't always do this because I forget about it, but then I realized later on that I forgot about that outfit that I really liked so much and I felt good in. So the goal is to take a picture of yourself, create a folder on your phone, and stick those pictures in your folder. So when you're like, I don't know what to wear, I'm in a rush, just go through your photos. Oh yeah, I really love that outfit. It was super easy. It was comfortable that day. And you have, outfits to wear every day.
I love that. You can literally title it, because of course I'm going to be organized in this, what to wear. And then if you can look by season and when when you took it. So if you're like, oh, I need something for summer.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea.
Try the 2-time tidy rule. All right. Yes, alliteration. I like it. So I did a whole video on this, but basically it talks about how try to tidy your house twice a day. Okay, I know this may sound like really overwhelming. It's not. It's not as overwhelming as it sounds.
Tell me, I have not heard this.
You have not watched that video, girl?
No, I missed that one.
Okay, so the first time you should tidy your house is in the morning, like before you go to work. Okay. So that way, when you get home from the day, you're walking in, you got groceries in hand, you got 2 kids in your other hand, you're coming back to like a tidy home. Now, I know.
A mental image of somebody with 2 kids.
Totally. It's you. Yeah. You're that person, right? And I know, again, it does not need to be a lot, but like maybe you just take the dirty dishes from the kitchen table and even put them in the sink. This does not need to involve 30 minutes of tidying. No busy, especially mom, has that time in the morning. So I'm not saying it's super involved, but just even moving those dishes to the sink, you come home, at least you're not dealing with breakfast still.
That's a really good idea. So you're like at least doing something that involves just not leaving it in the crap show it was when you...
Yes, or if there was like loose clothes that you didn't wear, just put them back in the closet, tuck them away, or put them in dirties, whatever.
Yeah.
The second time you're going to tidy your home is before you go to bed, so that when you wake up in the morning, again, it's this nice kind of peaceful thing. And I think a lot of people do already do that. Mm-hmm. Unless you get busy, maybe not. But that is another thing that I love to do, is because I don't want to wake up and like deal with stuff. Like if you can take that extra bit of time at night, I promise it will make your morning better.
Yeah, that's a really good at least thing to have in mind too. Like if I can just do a little bit today or a little bit here and there, it's not going to be so much whenever you go to clean your whole kitchen or whatever.
Exactly. If you're keeping up with your tidying throughout your home, or even just in the major zones, it makes a world of difference. All right, when you are making purchases this year, I want you to be really intentional with it. So that can look like thinking before you're buying something and having a place in your home that you already know you're going to put it. Or you can implement the one in and one out rule. Up to you. I'll let you decide, but I just want intention. Like I think we all can be more intentional with our purchases.
Get rid of social media accounts that make you feel like crap. We don't need to be following the people who, you know, make like lavish dinners for their family after their big corporate attorney job that they make millions of dollars at, and then they work out at 5 a.m. in the morning and get a massage every Thursday, and their kids are perfect. That is not anybody's life, but that's what they post on Instagram, right? And if they don't know you do, they don't even know that you stopped following them. You don't need to follow them. It just, if they're causing you stress and they're causing you to not feel like you're enough, just unfollow them. It just, you don't need to look at it. They're good for somebody else. You can follow people that maybe show the real them more often.
I will even say, to like piggyback on that, same with like TV shows. I was telling Anna the other day, there's a TV show that every time I watch it, it makes me feel like doo-doo. It makes me feel so bad about
Selling
myself.
Sunset.
She's gonna name drop. I watch it and I'm like, first of all, there's just so many things with the show, but ultimately it makes me feel like crap because A, I'm not super dressed up for work every day. I'm also not dressed in head to toe Gucci. I'm not making that much money. All of these things, and I'm like, and don't have any plastic surgery. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm doing something wrong.
Not trying to buy a $6 million house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I originally started watching the show because I just want to know how much these houses are going for, right? But every time I watch it, I'm like, it's just not good for my being.
Yeah,
you know?
You just leave it feeling icky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I used to watch some really dark shows, like not reality shows, but other like dark shows, and I'm like, this is not good for my mental being.
So what do you watch now?
Just like really woo-woo meditative stuff every day.
Or like Family Matters and like
yeah, right.
shows from the 90s where everything works out at the end of the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't buy clothes that you're not in love with. Like, things are on sale. We're about to get end of year sales and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, if they don't fit you and you're like, they're okay, I guess I could use another pair of black pants, and you have like 30 of them, just don't buy it, because it's just going to sit in your closet with the tags on it. You're going to be like, why did I buy that later? It's not going to it's going to be fun for that moment, and then it will not be fun any other time. Then you got to deal with it and do something with it. So just, if there's so much clothing out there, if you're not in love with it and you don't need it, don't buy it.
Here's the thing, it's not usually even fun in that moment. I find with those types of purchases, like I have one in my head that I can just recall, and this was years ago. I bought a pair of shoes, half size too small, because they were on sale. They were so stinking cute.
Yeah. Then they're done that.
But even I left the store thinking, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
It wasn't even fun in the moment. I ended up giving them to someone. You know, I'm like, okay, well then I just wasted how many ever dollars, you know, it's like, no, it's not worth it.
I remember a long time ago, I wear a size 9.5 or 10, and I bought a size 8.5.
No, girl.
I love these shoes so much. I never wore them because they were way too small. They were like sandals. I'm like, I had toe hang and heel hang. It was awful.
Do your laundry religiously on a specific day. And if you want to piggyback on, you know, how I just said religiously, if you want to pick Sunday, that's a good day to do it. Or don't start your laundry until you can totally finish it. So I have a lot of clients who have issues with laundry. We all have issues with laundry. If you have more than just, I was going to say more than just yourself, but even sometimes when you're single, it just piles up.
Yeah.
So I used to wait until it piles up, and we were just talking about this, and then you just do it, because all of a sudden then you're like, well, I don't have anything to wear, the kids don't have anything to wear, and then you end up doing 30 different loads of laundry, and it is so overwhelming.
And draining.
Yes. But if you do it once a week, or how many ever times, like you can fit this to your family. If you have a family of 6, you may have to do it more than once a week. I don't know. But be really intentional and specific about when you do it, instead of letting it pile up. You'll get it done quicker. It's easier to, like, the mental load of doing it then is so much easier.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad. I just have, you know, a couple loads and it's done. Instead of being like, oh, I have 10 loads of laundry. This is going to take me 22 hours. I don't have that kind of time.
I guess you could technically too, like if your schedule is kind of wonky, you could literally schedule in laundry. Like, okay, this for this week on Friday, I'm going to do laundry because I don't have to do whatever that day. Or next week I'll do it on Wednesday. Just literally put it in your calendar.
Put it in your calendar, and again, don't start it until you can finish it. Because that's the other headache that I find all the time with clients. It's like they start a bunch and then they have mounds of clean clothes and they haven't put it away. It's like, that's not beneficial either.
Right now.
You're going to take my advice or option.
I need to do laundry, guys.
No, but seriously, it really is a game changer. And it's the mental load with it. Like it helps to have a specific time to do it, or just knowing that you're going to be able to finish it. You're not putting it off for later. As soon as we start putting things off, it's like a tab that's still open in our brains. And
preach.
No one needs that.
Okay, here's like a self-helpy one, woo-woo one. There's been a couple in here, but this is something I want to try doing in 2024, but it's to get a new perspective on self-care. Because we see all these TikToks and all these things about like, you need self-care, you need a spa day and get your nails done. And it's like, that is fun to do and love doing all that stuff. But really though, self-care is more doing things that make you feel like a better person. Like
nourish your soul.
Yeah, like setting boundaries, telling people, no, you can't do that. Or, you know, maybe it's putting yourself out there, or just doing things that make you feel more whole. And like getting my nails done is great, and I like doing that sometimes, but I don't leave there being like, I feel like a whole person. And it's just, I just probably spent too much money on getting my nails done, basically. But but it's basically finding those things that can really nurture you there. Like journaling is a big self-care thing, but if journaling is not for you, or you don't like journaling, find some other way that feels like self-care that helps build you up inside. I don't have all the answers for that, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, can we do a couple more examples? One for me would be, like, I always love going, you know this, finding, like, a new workout class to go to. And, like, that to me is, like, nourishing my soul. Or, like, going to the library or a bookstore and just, like...
Yes.
Right? And just sitting and reading. And it does not have to be a self-care book. You know? Like, it does not have to be something woo-woo.
Yeah.
It's still nurturing your soul if you're reading a Harlan Coben thriller. Right?
Love him. I love thrillers, too. By the way, have you read The Handmaid's Tale?
No, I have not.
So freaking good.
And I have not watched it.
No, The Handmaid's Tale. The Housemaid's Secret. Totally different book.
No, but neither. I have not read either.
So good. It's really good. Anyway.
Don't neglect your car. If you have a car. If you have a car, most of us spend a lot of time in our cars. Unless you're living in a big city, you know, you probably don't. But for a lot of us, we spend a ton of time in our cars. And it just, like, we've got heaps of mail or trash or returns or, you know, so... Definitely don't neglect your car. Aim to either organize it or declutter, like, once a month. I mean, whatever, just start small. Take the trash out. Like, for me, I have a little bag in my car that's specifically for trash. It's in my door. When it fills up, I just empty it out. It's not, like, a huge thing. You know, I have something that organizes my sunglasses because I have a bit of a problem with the amount of sunglasses I have. But at least I'm organizing them, right? So, you know, I mean, just know your pain points. And, you know, if you have a lot of cords, if you're constantly charging stuff, maybe you put a little baggie for your cords so that you always know where they are.
Yeah, one thing I saw that you did whenever she organized my bathroom one time is she used Ziploc bags to just organize the groups of things. I'm like, why didn't I ever think about that? I just kind of dump them all in the drawer. But she had them kind of organized in little Ziploc bags. I'm like, that's so easy. What? Just such an easy, no-brainer thing I've never thought of.
And that's a good thing to mention, too, that, like, it does not, you don't go out and buy things. That's not what I'm saying in any of my videos, actually. It's like, use what you have. We all have... If you've ever bought makeup, you have a thing that holds it, or a Ziploc bag.
In 2024, we're not saving our best stuff for like the special occasions, for when we go out, we do something fancy. We're not saving our diamonds to wear them once a year. We're gonna wear those, maybe not mountain climbing, but you are gonna wear those on Tuesday or just to go do your stuff. And I've mentioned this in other videos before, but I feel like a lot of people who have a really unique personal style, they wear those special things. Like they wear the things that are really special to them on a regular basis. Like you have jewelry that you wear that is really nice jewelry, but you wear it and it just makes your outfit look more unique and just more you. Yeah. And instead of saving it all the time for the special occasion, like what's the point of it just sitting in a box in your closet? It makes no sense.
Yes. And I was reading something recently that was like, every day is special. Every day is like a gift. So like treat it like that. But I fall in this rut of, now yes, I will wear my jewelry. I'll wear it all the time. But not to the gym like a lot of people, but with other things, it's like I wear the same stuff all the time because I don't want to, I don't know, I wear stuff that I hate, especially with workout stuff. And I know that was one of our goals is like, let's look a little bit nicer with our workout wear. But like, I wear the same stuff, I guess because we don't want to get it dirty. I don't even have like a legitimate...
You're like, this is not special enough for me to wear this cashmere sweater.
Or like, or I think what I'm worried as I'm talking through this with you guys is that if I wear it today on a Tuesday or whatever, then when the special occasion does come around, I'll be like, well, shoot, I just wore it.
Like, because you have special occasions all the time.
Again, never. Besides, I mean, no. So, wear the dang thing. Okay, just know with any kind of organizational systems that you put into place this year, after you've watched all the videos and you know how to do all the things, you've put these systems into place, just know that you're going to have to reassess, or you should reassess every few months. Our lives change, our schedules change. If we have kids, they're growing up, they're in different things, they're in different phases, they're in different clothes, they're in different, what they have to take to school is different. So your life is constantly changing and evolving. So your systems, you want to make sure you reassess every so often so that you don't, all of a sudden, in 3 years you haven't reorganized and you're like, well, I don't know why my house is unorganized. It's because we haven't, kind of evolved, our systems haven't evolved with us.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that in one of your videos. It's just something, like your system, what it maybe used to work, but it's just no longer working.
Yeah, and that's not like a shame on, like, you're not no longer organized. It just, the system doesn't work for you. Or there's places that just tend to get unorganized easily. One thing I can think of, bathrooms or or like food storage containers. Yeah. It just happens. So just know going into it, even if you have to put an alert, like a calendar thing in your phone that says, all right, check out my systems. Whatever you have to do because otherwise the whole year goes by and you're like,
what happened exactly where I was last year. Nothing's changed.
So I would say every 3 months, every 4 months. All right. And the last and final thing, if nothing else, just aim to be a little bit better than you were the year before. Just,
just like slightly better. It's like that guy, Dan, whatever his name is, the reporter.
10% happier.
Just try to be 10% happier. Or just try to be 10% better than you were last year. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just better than you were.
Yeah.
Better than you were yesterday. I feel like we sound so like, be better than you were yesterday, guys.
but really, that's what I'm aiming to do.
Yeah, I should be better than I was this morning.
Yeah, exactly. Better than I was earlier this week. So, yeah. Cheers. Cheers to you guys and the new year.
We have left, if you're watching on my channel, I've left Erika's channel in the description box. And if you're watching on Erika's channel, we've left my information in the description box. You can find us on our respective channels.
Yeah.
And that's it. We'll see you next time.